Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Play Deus Ex Human Revolution, and let's continue the game where we last left off, which is doing the side mission. And I did a little bit of playthrough before starting recording the video to see if the game was bugged, as I mentioned previously, and thankfully it was not. You just need to find the sewers, and I already know which sewers I need to go. It was the one where the other side mission took place. So let's get to it there quickly and then continue on. So down here. Now, where's the sewer? Oh, there it is. And there they are.
They send you?
If you're talking about your former buddies at Bell Tower, the answer is no.
Wait a minute. You're Jensen, right? I heard that some of my former buddies have been looking for you.
Now which one should I be? Well, let's be brash about it.
Yeah, it seems no matter how many of their friends I send back in body bags, they just don't get the message.
For the sin of their mouths, the words of their lips, let them be trapped in their pride.
You've dropped the merc gig to become a man of the cloth?
Hardly. I just have an interest in theology. And I love quoting the book. Everything in it is so evocative. Now, tell me, are you here to stop me?
Not exactly. I'm here on behalf of someone who wants you to understand reason.
Let me guess. Dr. Wing, right? He's a good man, and I know he's only trying to do what he thinks is right. But he doesn't quite grasp the whole picture here.
Then why don't you enlighten me? Start by explaining why you went rogue.
When an average man decides he no longer shares his employer's views and opts to leave, we say he's handing in his resignation. When men like us do the same, it's called going rogue. You can't quit a job like ours, Jensen. You know that.
Yeah, okay, I can relate. But you still haven't answered my question. And what do you mean when you say you no longer share your employer's view?
Back in the US, when I first got into the Army, I did it because I wanted to serve my country. I believed in its values. I believed in its government. Back then, I believed that by serving my government, I was serving the people it was supposed to protect.
Nice sentiment. But you don't work for the US anymore, you work for Bell Tower.
Times change, Jensen. You know the story. Capitalism's final encroachment on one of the most lucrative industries in the history of mankind. War got privatized. The US military offloaded its special operations to PMCs like Blue Water Global and Bell Tower. I believed that as long as they were working for the government, they were serving the same cause. So when they offered me the chance to work on major operations at twice the pay grade, I made my jump.
Once again, nice story, but none of it justifies what you've done. Right now, I'm giving you a chance to do the right thing and turn yourself in.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Jensen. I respect you for coming here and doing what you think is right. But you gotta understand, I'm trying to do the same thing.
Really? Okay then. Why don't we skip ahead to when things turn sour?
Bell Tower outfitted us with top-notch augmentations. The kind of stuff civilians never hear about. Gave us a massive edge over the enemy. Later, seeing as my unit was one of the most successful ones, they selected us for a special program. Top secret, experimental tech. Told us we would get to work on critical black ops for the US government. But there was a price to pay.
Go on.
We had to be implanted with a neural hub that manipulates memory centers in the brain. Basically controlling what you can and cannot remember.
And you agreed to this?
Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. The augmentation was supposed to keep us safe, make sure we'd never remember details if we fell behind enemy lines. That was the main function. The second one, the one they didn't tell us about, was to lower our inhibitions, make us more receptive to orders we'd likely disobey. Bell Tower turned us into the perfect mercs.
If you were so perfect, and the hub made you so perfect, how did it fail? How come they didn't outfit the whole agency?
I told you the tech was experimental. After a couple of ops, I started experiencing memory shifts, remembering bits and fragments of past operations. Slowly, I realized some of these operations couldn't logically have been orchestrated by the government. I was asked to do highly questionable things, even by professional standards.
Aren't we all?
Not like this, Jensen. Our services have been sold to corrupt officials in the American and Chinese governments. A combination of lies and use of the neural aug made sure we complied. We were working for a shadow government. Individuals corrupted by a quest for personal power.
So how'd you get out of it?
I confronted the project director. He quoted Apocalypse Now. You have to have men who are moral, and at the same time who are able to utilize their primordial instincts to kill without feeling. I forced him to disconnect the hub, for me and my squad mates here. And then I killed him. I went through his files and contacts. I know who these corrupt men are now. They've turned us into killing machines, and now they'll get to experience their experiment firsthand.
Well, now we got three choices: fight, reason, or approve. Well, let's go with the approve reason.
Dr. Wing said our situations would resonate. I don't think he realized it might go both ways. Some men deserve the justice we bring on them. Do what you have to do, Zelazny. I won't get in your way.
I appreciate that, Jensen. I didn't want you to die for a cause that isn't yours. These men I killed, and these men I'm going to kill. They have names, families, they're people. Their deaths shouldn't be erased from my memory by some electronic software. They should haunt me, taunt me, until I finally meet our Lord and pay for my sins. But the men behind this, they deserve to die. And I think there's poetry in the fact that they engineered their own demise.
And now we got another praxis kit. And now we need to go back to Dr. Wing to complete the mission, side quest. So let's get to it.
Hey, Jensen. Zelazny here.
Zelazny? How'd you get this frequency?
You're no stranger to top secret augmentations, Jensen. You figure it out. In the meantime, just want to let you know I've contacted some of my old pals at Bell Tower. Got them to reassign a couple of local patrols. You should have a few less problems to deal with for a while.
Thanks.
Don't mention it.
And now we got a little bit of easier move around with the with the patrols.
That is far enough. Get back. Lost it.
But too bad I don't have any more healing. Not healing. Energy cell items.
You want to
try that again in English, Sergeant Wong?
My apologies, sir, but I wasn't aware we had to speak English on duty.
Bell Tower is an English outfit, and that's how I want the scum down here to see it. We gotta let them know who's running this place.
Yeah, well, we don't want these street rats coming out to talk to us whenever they want. Besides, I gotta speak enough Mandarin every time I go to the restaurant. I don't want to do it at my job, too.
HQ in London. You shouldn't be here. Get moving. Right here. You shouldn't be here. Get moving.
Wonder if I can get the... limb clinic from here. Yes, I can.
A device which transmits neural impulses directly.
Now, I doubt Dr. Wing appreciates our decision, but can't be helped.
So? You have found Zelazny? I cannot stress enough the importance of this task, Mr. Jensen.
I found him.
Really, Mr. Jensen? You have been able to make him understand reason? Will he turn himself in?
It's a long story, Doc. I tracked Zelazny and his men. They were hiding in the sewers. And after talking to him, I decided to let him go.
What? But he is a dangerous man, Mr. Jensen. You should not have done this.
The men Zelazny's after are far more dangerous than he is. His methods are extreme, but I think his cause is justified. To be honest, Doc, I believe what he wants isn't that different from you. An honorable government free of corruption. They could use a man like you.
I had not foreseen such a thing. I don't know, Mr. Jensen. You seem to believe that the end justifies the means, but I don't know. I'll have to think about this. Here is a praxis kit. It's all I have.
Well, thankfully, we were able to convince him, so now we got 2 praxis kits, which is nice. But once again comes the difficulty on what to use it. Well, maybe I'll use one on cone vision, and the second one, let's make a hacking a little bit easier. Next time, when we get some practice, let's try to improve our aim stabilizers. But now, let's continue on. So what's the main goal? Which is meeting now Tong's contact, who will help us. Oh, excuse me, I have a little bit of heartburn. That's why it's a bit difficult to speak. In contacting the remaining missing scientists.
怎么回事嘛？为什么我们还在这里没有让我们进去？
Well, there are still some patrols.
That is far enough. Get back. Lost it. Shouldn't be here.
Yes, you did. So, let's get moving. Hopefully I'll find some energy bars later on and get some replenish.
Keep moving.
Back to the harvester. Or Tong's HQ or harvester base. Another sewer area. But now we leave, well, basically we are about to leave from Hengshaw. Now, I do remember that there was a merchant also in here.
You buy or sell? I do it all. Look at a computer and see for yourself.
First, let's see if I have actually anything to sell. Now, what about what? A mine template. Well, those are definitely useful, so let's buy those first.
Bye-bye. I see you soon.
Can't actually remember if some of them were already full, so if they were, we'll sell it back. Oh, ammo capacity is full. Okay, try to keep that in mind. What about this? Which one? Reload speed upgrade. Well, let's examine. Okay, now I've got a full rate of fire, reload speed, damage output is the only one. And what about the handgun? Examine. Rate of fire, reload speed, damage output, ammo capacity. Okay, so keep that in mind that I won't buy any more.
What I got.
So let's sell the ammo capacity back. And let's buy a few. Well, let's buy a gas grenade and an EMP.
Come back anytime.
Tell me something, Lawai. Why is it that everyone with AUGs got hit by that glitch? Not all augments are made by the same company. They don't all use the same chips. It makes me wonder who's in on this. Lim? Taiyong? The government? Fucking aliens? Shit. What are they planning?
Good question. But we don't have the answers. And now we're in enemy territory. What was the actually objective of us? Ah, yes. Get inside Bell Tower Port. I do have a lot of these now, which is of course good.
Access granted.
Whoa. Oh, damn it. Lost a lot of worms.
Access granted.
I got a couple of nuke viruses now. No turrets. Ah, but now we can disable. Now let's not open the door because that will raise some suspicion. Instead, let's try to find a workaround. There we go. Now the robots have been deactivated. So if we get spotted, we don't have to at least worry with the droids. Or androids or whatever they are called. Oh, come on now.
Access granted.
I managed to get some. Oh, forgot to read. Still a couple of droids patrolling. Let's see if we can find deactivate those. How much? 2,000. And a little bit over. Almost 3,000 XP until I will get another Praxis kit.
Access granted.
There was a droid over there. I think this is just an alternate route. So let's keep going through here. I hope this just doesn't trigger alarm. No, it didn't. Look around some.
You sure could teach my boys some tricks, Jensen.
Tong? How did you get this frequency?
Ancient Chinese secret. Now listen. You're going to plant that package in Administrator Wang's office. Put it on the bastard's desk and trigger it. Sound good?
Sounds like I'm doing you a favor. How does it help me?
The explosion should distract the guards. Then you hop in a cargo pod and off you go. But you only got one shot. No turning back once you trigger that thing, you get me?
I got you. Only set it if I'm ready to go.
Well, that's convenient.
Access granted.
Quickly, quickly, quickly. Phew. Let's give our energy cells a moment to recharge. Still not a fan of engaging in open fight. I can't. No, can't open those. Okay, abort. Now I got only 2 attempts, so let's actually use a nuke.
Access granted.
Okay, now that was actually something I can use right away. And pretty much let's use this one. Now we're in full.
Everyone should be wary of China. They've been moving in on everything American in the past 25 years, especially since that Dragon Queen Zhao took over TYM. I feel weird even talking about this because when it's all said and done, both Sarah and Zhao are cut from the same cloth. And that cloth is a
There's another guard. We need to go all the way over there. Well, I guess I'm gonna cut the video here now. So, when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, let's head towards... Well, was it Wong? Well, actually, let's knock this guy out. Sleepy time. Let's check. Yes, it was in Wang's, Administrator Wang's office. So, when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, let's go and plant that bomb into Administrator Wang's office and let's see, well, what happens after that. But it'll be in the next video. Until then, as always, I'll see you when I see you. Later.